Hey everybody, welcome back. We have an amazing show. And in case you're wondering what you're listening to, it's the
Hey Poopy podcast with
Dave
and Ellen, two curious people who are
removing the stigma from your stinker. Yes. And this episode is fantastic. We had the wonderful Trixie Minx via New Orleans on the show. And if you've listened to the show before, we've had her as a guest. She was part of a night of 100 buttholes. She's been all over the place. And we finally...
Well, this is the first time she was a guest.
Yes, I was about to say that. Yes, first time as a guest.
But she was part of our celebration of 100 episodes. Then she was a news story.
Yep.
Because this poor woman has had a lot of shit in her life.
Yes.
Thanks to this goddamn pandemic.
She's put up with a lot of shit, but she's triumphed. She's like overcome that and used humor to get through.
Yep.
So
she literally turned shit into gold, people.
Definitely.
So this is the episode to listen to on how to do that.
It was a fun one for sure.
Yeah. And she's literally the most adorable person where there were birds chirping in the background and she looks like Cinderella. Like, I don't understand how, like so cute and whimsical she is.
It was like a scene in Snow White. You're like, what the fuck?
All the way down in New Orleans, surrounded by a cesspit of her entire yard in the street, which you soon learn about, unless you already heard that news article.
Yeah, but we don't want to no spoiler alerts. You know, you got to just dig into this episode. It's good. That being said, because of due to the nature of New Orleans infrastructure, there was little like audio glitches here and there. So just give you a heads up that there might be, not the best quality you're used to here on the Hey Poopy podcast, but
yeah,
still awesome content.
True. Also, talking about content, do you want to see a behind-the-scenes photo of Trixie during our interview? You can see that only on Patreon.
Yes.
Yes, we're on Patreon, people. The only place you can find out who our future guests are, and you can directly ask them questions. You can get merch. You can advertise with us. There are so many fun things you can do there.
Yeah, interacting. That's what we want you to do with us. We want a complete interaction with our fans.
Not just that, if you don't have the money to swing for our fabulous Patreon, you know what you can do? You can leave us a review.
Yes.
Like this fabulous review that we have from Jeff Faber. Buckle up, 5 stars. Hey Poopy first draws you in with the scatological sharding pooping in a plastic bag stories that are easily digested for their laugh out loud humor. But then you suddenly learn from authors experts and about fatbergs, water treatment facilities, hookworm, environmental issues. Then you learn about colorectal cancer prevention during interviews with doctors and tips and suggestions for proper colon health. Then you circle around yet again to someone making a diarrhea in public from a bad seafood. The circle is complete, and you've laughed and you've learned. Host Dave and Ellen's easy report and confessional BM stories will always get you through a rough day.
Yes, BM stories.
Thank you, Jeff Faber.
That was great.
Amazing review.
Fantastic. A+ on that review, by the way. You were great.
Do you want us to read one of your reviews? Leave one for us. It's free, and you're helping us out. Or do us a favor and tell a friend about the podcast.
Yeah. Word of mouth is very important.
Also, do you have one of your own BM stories or a shitting in public story, but you want to stay anonymous? You can do so by emailing us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com.
Or leave a message at 203-998-5579. We're getting a lot of like action on that hotline. So
yeah, we are.
Let's keep it rolling.
Yeah. So keep on being a part of this Hey Poopy podcast crew. Become a fart star. A butthead.
Fart stars are great.
Even a perfect 4.
That's always the one you want, that number. And while you're doing that, enjoy this episode. Thanks again. If you like playing with poo, now you can finally do it in public with the Poo Pocalypse card game.
Created by comedians, Poo Pocalypse is kind of like if Uno and Exploding Kittens had a big poopy baby.
Poo Pocalypse is surprisingly strategic and full of crappy characters like Abraham Lincoln Log, Cleopatra, and Attila the Runs.
It's fun for immature people of all ages, like me and you, Dave. I played it. I love it. I can't wait for you and me, Dave, to play it together in person post-pandemic.
It's going to be really fun. And the games, I mean, everything about this game is fantastic. The illustrations, and it's loaded with tons of puns. So if you like poo puns, this is the game for you.
Poo Pocalypse is currently running 10% off discounts on Amazon right now.
So if this game sounds like your kind of crap, search Poo Pocalypse on Amazon today. Future Method is a new type of sex care that focuses on science and whole body wellness.
Founded by Dr. Evan Goldstein, leading anal surgeon and frequent guest and friend of ours here at Hey Poopy Podcast.
Our assholes go through a lot of wear and tear. It's a sensitive area that can get irritated from so much use. The Future Method Butt and Body Scrub, the perfect combination of exfoliators, skin softeners, and antioxidant-rich ingredients.
This gentle yet effective exfoliant that can be used after butt play to help remove any lingering body fluids and lube post-play.
Dr. Led, Future Method's products are designed to promote whole body sexual wellness. It's what they call the science of sex.
And for our lucky listeners, FutureMethod.com is offering 15% off your next purchase. Just use the code HeyPoopy at checkout. Restrictions apply.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
Hey everybody, this is the Hey Poopy Podcast with
Dave.
and Ellen, and this is episode 119, but it'll always be number 2 to us. And we have the fabulous Trixie Minx with us today.
Yes.
New Orleans' own, and maybe the queen of the sewer, thanks to the story you're about to hear. So Trixie, before we go into exactly who you are, we'd like to go into how have you been pooing recently?
Apparently my body has decided to rebel, because that's what happens when you've been on this planet long enough. You just die from the inside out. So fine, I'm happy. I'm a good, I'm walking the dog and exercise. Well, not exercise, a lie. I just lied to you. I just try to make myself seem cool to you New Yorkers. But basically, I could be exercising and I'm making moderate health choices. But yeah, no, I got really stressed. This week in particular was super stressful. So yeah, it's been sort of like, you never know when it's going to happen, but when it happens, it's happening type of week.
Oh, Lordy. Well, I'm sorry. Did you poop today?
It's many variations on the poop.
Gotcha. So you'll be back on the right poop track at some point.
Oh yeah, no, I'll be back on track.
Okay.
On the digestion track soon enough. Don't you worry.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome.
What about you, Dave? How have you been pooping?
I went to the bathroom twice today. Yeah,
Ooh.
Twice. Almost before the show, but then I didn't have to go. I thought I did, but I didn't. I don't know. I mean, I think I just, it's one of those things where I was getting ready to go, and then I got distracted with an email, and then I was reading this article and then I just was like, oh, I guess I don't have to go anymore. So it wasn't anything spectacular. I mean, it wasn't obviously it wasn't pressing. I would have gone. But yeah, nothing to write home about. I think I had a 4.5-ish,
Ooh,
somewhere around there today. And then the other one was a little less consistent. But yeah. It's been a slow day, so we'll see. We still got plenty of day left.
I did poop today. As I said before, I woke up extremely early this morning, and I had before my first coffee, I was running around doing an errand, and I had to stop into a gas station to pee, and I was like, oh my God, I have to poo, but I don't want to poo here. So I held it, and then I had coffee, and I was like, I feel like it's ready again, but I had to literally sit on the toilet and just let it come back down. As Cardi B says, when it's up, then it's stuck. So I had to unstick it, and I literally was I feel like a straight man. I sat there for longer than I'd like to have sat there, but it finally came out. It was pretty successful. But I do have to talk about my poo yesterday. I swear to God, Dave, I almost took a picture of it to send you, but I know that you have tapped out with me sending you pictures of my poo with the one and done.
Yeah.
But I made a cartoon poop yesterday. It was not like an emoji, not like that swirl that like triangles on top of itself, but it was so perfect. It was the most perfect 4 I've ever seen in my entire life. It was easy 9 inches long. It was like 2 inches thick. It tapered off beautifully. And I was just like, when I looked at it, I was like, that's the most gorgeous shit I've ever taken in my entire fucking life. How did that just happen? I need to make notes of what I ate the night before. Like, what? It was
Gonna recreate the magic.
Yes. I've made some pretty stellar shits in my life, but this one was, it looked like it was like made out of plastic. It was just so perfect.
I have never. I'm sorry.
Like it's like the model version of Mr. Hanky.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous.
I have never looked at my shit and been like, that is perfect. I mean, you've taken some epic ones, you've mentioned before, but I'm going to ask you this question. I'm assuming you did take a photo of it just to have. Oh, you didn't?
I didn't. Let me just let this be.
Oh,
but
okay.
I have one of those lights, Trixie, in my toilet that like changes rainbow colors. So like when I stood up and looked, it was backlit by this like blue light. And I was like, and I like pooping in the dark. I don't like turning on the like overhead lights on. So then I had a moment where I was like, is this really as pretty as it looks? Let me turn on the light. So I turned on the light to look at it. And I was like, it is just as good in the light on or off. Wow. How beautiful.
Oh my God.
See, I feel like though you should have had a second opinion because it's like a mother. You know what I mean? Oh, my child looks pretty. It's like, but is it? But is it?
I mean, it is shit.
I missed an opportunity to take a picture, but I was also like,
Lesson learned: always take a pic.
yeah.
And just, but sometimes it's kind of nice to just have the memory, you had to be there kind of thing.
Gorgeous. So sorry to rub it into everybody's faces, but I made a perfect number 4 yesterday. Perfect.
Yeah.
Amazing! Congrats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is shit we're talking about, but yes, that's awesome. Congratulations. FartVac is the world's first fart vacuum and filtering system for your farts.
Using a hand air pump with activated carbon filter, FartVac reduces the stench of your flatulence.
Take responsibility and reduce your fart smells. You can now fart without shame.
FartVac also makes a great gag gift for those gassy people in your life.
No more pain while fighting nature and holding in gas.
Join the proud movement to embrace your body's natural functions with FartVac.
Use discount code HeyPoopy for $2 off at fartvac.com or search FartVac, FARTVAC on Amazon for purchase.
So Trixie, now that we know about all of our poos, tell us a little bit about what you do outside of pooping.
Well, prior to COVID, I guess I still am. So I'm a burlesque producer and performer based in New Orleans, Louisiana. In addition to that, I do a lot of comedy content just for fun, for shits and giggles. And so volunteer my time as an advocate for affordable health care. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, that's sort of, and I'm the queen of cheese, but that's like asking me, is there a sun in the sky? It just is. So I don't.
Wait, queen of literal cheese, like the food, or?
Queen of cheese.
Okay.
I'm the current, at least I think I'm the current reigning still. I've been the reigning queen for 2018, 19, 2020. We didn't have a festival, but I still have the crown and the credits. And so 2021, we'll see what happens if anybody wants to fight me for it, but I think I'm going to still be it.
How do you win said queen
Yeah, I was
of cheese?
just going to ask that question.
You start by living in a town with a festival for every food item or sound or weather or whatever. So we were having a cheese festival, and at least here, every festival has a queen or a king, like Mardi Gras, king or queen. And I asked the people involved, how do you participate? Is it something that you are awarded, or do you have to is it, a voting system? Is it more democratic? And they thought I was crazy. So they just they totally ghosted me and did not respond to my messages. So then I started, what would you call it? Basically just a giant like campaign to basically encourage me to be I want to be voted the queen of cheese, but there was no voting. So I just basically just kept asking people to vote for me. So people kept telling them they wanted to vote for me for queen, but there was no, again, vote. And so the festival in a giant yellow dress with a crown on my head and ate heavily and left with a couple wheels. And then the paper took a picture of me and called me the queen of cheese, even though it wasn't official. And then the next year, guess who freaking emailed me to ask if I would like to be the official queen of cheese?
Oh.
Wow. So the festival was down.
Yeah, it's like the most ridiculous form of manifestation I've ever done.
Yeah, I was going to say, build it and they'll come.
They'll become it.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'd love to leave as words of wisdom. Viewers, whoever's doing what.
I thought you were going to say like you had to eat, I don't know, like 20 pounds of cheese in like a certain amount of time or something.
Very passionate about cheese and cheese related products. I just easily excited about it. And I think that joy should be shared.
Yeah. That sounds like something Ellen should get into. She loves cheese.
Yeah. I have zero willpower around cheese.
I think it's the perfect food because it like hits almost everything on the food pyramid if you really think about it. Because you can, it's a breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner, possibly dessert if you're in a fancy restaurant food. It literally can be mixed and matched to cover all your needs.
I OD'd on cheese in Paris.
Easy to do.
Yeah, I went to a restaurant and they had a cheese appetizer, a cheese entree, and a cheese dessert. And I went back to our Airbnb, went to sleep, woke up an hour later, and I was bright red and I was breathing like... And my boyfriend was like, I think you're dying from eating all that cheese. And I was like, don't take this away from me.
Segue random, but I was in France one time on a dance tour, and it was my first time there and experienced the cheese, and it was so plentiful and cheap, and I was like, oh my gosh, so I'm going to take, and we had done this one performance and then went on the tour bus to then drive somewhere else when I started to eat the cheese, and the person managing the tour was like, who has their shoes off? This is agreeable, like thinking of, and literally walked down the aisle of the bus while we're driving on a mountain in France. And I'm sitting there nibbling my cheese happily, and it's you! He grabbed it from me and chucked it off the side. I cried.
What an asshole.
I would have slapped him. Don't take my fucking cheese away from me.
But it was upsetting, to say the least.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Oh my God. Trixie, I was at a wedding maybe about 10 years ago that had a cheese tower, and I allowed myself one of each flavor, and literally 30 minutes later, I farted out the smell of each flavor.
That's impressive.
It was insane. And my brother can vouch for me. He was there. I farted out cheddar. I farted out blue. I farted out brie, and it smelled exactly like the cheese.
Okay, I have not done that. You're definitely going to be, you need to be royalty if you can do that.
I'll fight you for a plate of cheese.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That's your superpower.
And that's why we have this show.
Yeah. So we can show said superpower. Oh my God. Oh, cheese farts are the worst.
Yeah. So Trixie, now that we know who you are, and if for anybody who didn't hear that episode, let's go straight into your news article about what happened to you and why you should almost be the queen of sewage also.
Yeah. Let's revisit that.
Yeah. So, New Orleans is where I live, and it's, the city is very old, as is our sewage system. And because we live in a swamp and we're constantly sinking into the ground anyways, things tend to have issues. And I came home to my house on Christmas Eve, and there was just raw sewage in my yard, literally just toilet paper, poop, all sorts of fun little surprises. And it was gurgling and burbling. So, I just laughed because at that point, 2020 was, horrible. And then you add that on top. I was just like, all right, we're just going to close out the year with a bang. So I reached out to, the proper sewage and water board and was like, hey, I know it's Christmas, but can we send somebody out here? And nobody came pretty much.
Because that's a health hazard.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's like raw sewage.
Pungent.
Oh,
Disgusting.
Horrifying to see it continue to grow. So it was already sort of awful, but then, nobody came. And then a couple weeks in, somebody came.
oh, weeks.
Yes.
That's fucked up. Weeks. Jesus Christ.
It's just traditional New Orleans. Like, we'll get to it when we get to it, energy. But with that being said, they dug a hole in the sidewalk and the street. They put this little flagpole situation around, so it looked like a little mini circus, and then put some planks of wood, and then left it again for what was felt indefinite to me. Like now I could literally see the poop not just coming in my yard, but like lifting up in this. It looked like a hell mouth. You know what I mean? Just like a literal gaping hole into the earth.
It's like a gaping ass. Just into your front lawn. Awesome.
No, it was in my yard too. Like, I mean, that's a yard. So the lawn and then like the sidewalk, street. And so and it just kept, I would see it rise, and it was like, what?
It's a horror movie.
It moved with the moon, and it stayed that way for about 6 weeks.
Oh my God.
6 weeks?
Yeah, it was a long time. But luckily, that's when Mardi Gras rolled around. So this is where the whole story ties in. This year, because we can't do traditional parades, or we couldn't do traditional parades because of all the COVID stuff, people were doing house floats. So they decorated their houses in themes, and people could drive around and see them, like sort of going to a parade. So my theme of my house float was the shit show. And the design that they already created for me, along with the sort of circus style flag, perimeter they added. And then I put this big happy banner with a emoji poop that's smiling, and it had more of the flags, and it was very sparkly. And we put some sparkle backdrop. And yeah, it was, and then the newspaper thought it was funny and wrote it. And wouldn't you know, 24 hours later, that thing was fixed. It was completely tucked away, wrapped up. You never would have known it was there.
Wow. So all it takes is, what you're basically telling us is, if there's ever kind of an issue with the city of New Orleans, you have to make a parade about it.
Yeah,
Some kind of like,
you just go straight to the press. You went to the press for your Queen of Cheese, and it got done. You go to the press for this, it got done.
Yes, you're right. But I didn't go to the press for the Queen of Cheese. I was going on social media. I was telling everybody to vote for me for Queen of Cheese. And when I showed up, dressed up like a fool, they just assumed, because I'm just running around. I'm the only person at the festival in a ball gown and crown of cheese holding wheels underneath my arm. It was pretty funny. I was dying laughing because they were just like, man, what's your name? I was like, Trixie Minx. Okay, check. And then next thing I see in the paper, Trixie Minx, Queen of Cheese.
Nice.
Yeah, but it sounds like the press should be on your side,
Yeah, they really should.
Yeah.
I provide quality content.
Well, if you take an awful situation like that, not the cheese thing, and then wrap it up in a big bow box and then invite some people down there to talk about it, you'll get your shit fixed.
I literally got my shit fixed.
That's crazy. 6 weeks is a long ass time to smell that. I mean, you must have been going like insane.
No, I sort of I lost my sanity, I think, in November.
Oh. So by that point, you're like, whatever.
It's just a cherry on top.
Yeah, I just would laugh because I was like, you can't. I mean, I think about the people who who write for sitcoms or like comedy shows. I was like, it was like an SNL skit. Like, you can't, it just kept getting more and more ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And the funniest part is that you literally turned shit into gold. Like, you took something terrible, health concern, and you were like, fuck it, I might as well celebrate it. Let me turn it into the shit show and get press and be celebrated for it.
Well, I feel like that's sort of like, your burlesque emergency go-to, like when in doubt, throw glitter on it, It might not fix the problem, but it makes it sparklier.
Yeah.
That's like that when we had Evil Hate Monkey on the podcast, he found human shit in the back of some event he was doing, and he's I might as well just spray paint it gold because I'm not going to touch it, but at least I can make it pretty.
Don't go here. But that is impressive, though, taking all that stuff and then making, like an art project out of it, literally.
Yeah, it was essentially, installation art.
But that's a metaphor for life. You know, when the world gives you shit, how can you turn it into something fun, you know?
Yeah,
So,
but kudos for you on that. I mean, I'm sorry you had to go through all that, but it's a pretty. I mean, it was in our news story, so fantastic news item.
I feel special, and again, I feel really fancy. The topic of conversation.
Yeah, we were like, what is going on now?
my goodness. So we have a mini celebrity here, you guys. Like, she's like the queen of shit and the queen of cheese all at once.
You have a lot of crowns.
I mean, not the queen of burlesque, though. I don't do competitions.
Still, you wear many crown.
Yeah. So, Trixie, do you have any stories for us about poops and farts, or do you want us to go into some questions?
I think the only thing that I wanted to touch on is my Shitterton episode, which also came out of the poop story.
All
that
right.
was brilliant.
Yes.
Thank you. I've done 2 episodes. I was trying to do a third, but it was raining, and then they fixed where I was going to film before I could film. So during the pandemic, or I guess we're still in the pandemic, wherever freaking, I don't even know what to call it anymore. You know, this is, what's it called? I'm at a loss for words because I haven't talked to people in so long. It's great. Essential crises, time frame, whatever the wild world. But basically, I was just going to say, this past year I started doing a lot more like straight up comedy videos. I've always interjected comedy into like my burlesque performance or like in my personal life, but it's been nice to sort of just do comedy videos. And so because this giant like hellmouth of poop was in my front yard for so long as the backdrop for a couple comedy videos, including my Bridgerton parody Shitter. Currently has 2 episodes. I always, my Patreon, I show them first and then I make edits on what they say and then I put it out for public consumption. But it's pretty funny. It's just me driving around different places in New Orleans with like lots of shit and bad sewage, and I just be fancy and.
I mean, that's the ultimate pun, though. Shitterton. That's fantastic.
I feel very proud of what I have created.
That was great. Top notch.
Amazing. Let me get to some questions, Trixie. Tell us, what kind of brand of toilet paper you use, and do you put it on the roll over or under?
Currently, I use Kirkland, but my favorite is Charmin. I think it's like that plush, but I'm afraid to use it because I think I'll mess up my sewage.
Yeah, right.
We don't have the technology. That is my
a little too thick.
It's true. And then I always do toilet paper over, though I saw a TikTok recently that said you should do under because it provides for less swear usage.
Yeah, we talked about
I just
that.
like the visual of it over. It's aesthetically.
As do most of our guests prefer it over. The majority.
But we did watch that TikTok too, and Dave is an under, I'm an over, and Dave has never felt so vindicated in his life.
I'm really more upset that I did not think of that. I was like, fuck, it's a good angle. But I mean, totally true though.
And Trixie, I think you should live your best life and go back to Charmin so you could clog up your sewage so you could do Shitterton number 3. I mean,
she's. I don't want to go back to that, really.
Sure, it will happen on its own. I could sneeze or just look at the toilet the wrong way and it'll just start shooting like a geyser.
Trixie, also, when you wipe your butt, do you sit or stand to wipe?
I sit and I can't imagine standing. I think you had asked this question or you sent it in just be like, these are some questions we might ask. And I was like, what type of godless creature?
We've actually had a handful of guests who stand.
Yeah.
So
they're a small minority.
Not yuck anybody's yum, but
geez, if you've got a plush buttocks, you're not going to be able to get in there. Like you're going to have to lift a leg or something. I don't know how you spread them.
Some people do like a kind of like half stand, thing.
Like a squat.
I think there's maybe been 1 or 2 people that actually do a full-on stand. But yeah, it's a small minority of guests that have done it. They're small, but They're proud.
But an important question we have to ask.
Yeah. We didn't even know that was a question to ask until one of our guests brought it to us. We were like, what?
Is doing that, you need to sit them down and have a discussion with them about proper butt.
Yeah, we had somebody who said that they hold their butt cheeks apart with one hand while they stand and lean forward and wipe with the other.
Oh, lean forward. That does make sense.
Yeah, you got to do something.
that.
You got to do something
Yeah.
to get them apart.
Kind of like a hover in a public toilet.
Yeah.
I do get that. I mean, I understand why people hover, but to me, I just don't have the thigh strength. So it's a.
What's your first memory of poop or farts as a child?
Oh, I would say, I think one of my first memories of like poop is my brother. I can't remember my first memory now off the top of my head. I can't remember anything nowadays, so that's not unusual. But I do remember when my brother was potty training that my mom, he had this little plastic toilet in the bathroom next to the regular toilet for him to like practice. And I remember my mom emptying it out and just being like, that's poop. Like, he didn't poop in the real toilet. He pooped in the baby toilet. That's poop. Like, it was a realization of like,
She's like, oh, yeah.
I'd never seen poop out of the toilet before.
Trixie, what's your best cure for diarrhea or constipation?
The best cure for constipation is a cigarette, honestly, and lots. I'm not trying to encourage people to smoke, but I don't smoke. I used to be a social smoker, but let me tell you, you take one puff, even if you're social, you're like, I gotta go, bye. You know, like, and then for the others, Imodium. I gotta be honest, they sell it for a reason. It works exceptionally well. I warn people, like, don't actually use it as directed, or you will never go poop again. Like, it's
pretty intense, for sure.
That's me. I cannot take it. If I take Imodium, I won't shit for a week.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. But like for people who are having like severe issues, let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I personally prefer Pepto because I feel like it's one level down from the intensity of Imodium, but I understand why people take Imodium.
You got to cork up that dam.
I always say cheese, but I never had, so I didn't have the cheese stomach stuff that like a lot of people have trouble. That's the one thing I can do is digest cheese. So yay me, I got that.
You're not a lactard. We get it.
That's awesome.
What products do you love to help you with pooping? From anything from helping you remove smells? Do you have a bidet? Do you have a stool? What do you? Ooh.
The Jumbo Metamucil. This is game changer. This started again. My stomach. I never had poop issues until the pandemic, and apparently my stress level it's not in my head, it's not my heart, it's purely digestive. And yeah, this guy has been a game changer. I buy it in bulk. I highly encourage everybody to do it. It sounds crazy. It changes the quality of your experience. It's
nice.
like it makes it more like a spa day instead of you just painting your toenails and calling it a spa day.
So Metamucil.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I love psyllium husk. I'm a big fan of it, but anything to help you going.
Yeah.
Okay, Trixie, here's our very, very favorite question. Bristol 7, hot lava poo-poo coming out of you, and there's no toilet in sight.
Oh, no.
Do you poop in your pants, or do you go somewhere on the ground, aka the floor?
I would prefer to go on the floor. I feel like I feel like you don't have a choice. Definitely on the floor. However, if this is a situation that you are explaining it to be so, I don't think there is a choice because I don't think you'll make it. So
It's
coming out.
Like you could literally be anywhere. It could be anything, but it's that moment where you get like that hot and cold sweats, and you're like, "Oh my god, it's happening!"
Well, how about this
I can't turn back.
How about this for a scenario? You're at the cheese festival.
oh my god.
And then, it's coming out. We know it's coming out, but it's like clock's a ticking.
I feel like this question is a two-parter. Okay, so because this is a situational answer.
Yeah.
Like, if you are with a lot of people around, definitely just have to crap your pants and then just run. That's the way to do it. However, if you are in a situation where you are outside in nature, let's say you're doing a dog walk, so there are people, but it's not like you're not in an enclosed, fenced, like physical building or whatever, then definitely drop trow and just let it happen. And I hate to say, I've actually been in that situation. And
This is why we asked this question.
it's a very important, and let me tell you, you make that decision quick.
Yes, you do.
One time it was at a makeup store, and I was like, oh my gosh, and it was horrible. I was like, I got to get to a bathroom right now. And unfortunately, that did not happen. But luckily, I got outside where I got to shit my pants in the comfort of nature. And then I got to sit in it and ride in my shit all the way home, which was cute.
Wait, where were you sitting?
In my car.
Oh.
I mean, I wasn't going to walk home, and I wasn't going to.
Yeah.
You got to get home as soon as possible.
There was nothing else to do. There was no choice. And then I feel like maybe I should, whatever. It's on the internet now. Everybody's going to know. I don't care. So then the other thing is I'm telling you guys, I exercise because I'm trying to impress you. But then I'm telling you like my deepest, darkest shit stories because I'm like, nobody's going to ever know. It's fine. I don't care. I do. So because I got diagnosed with IBS this year, which that's how these shit situations happened, is because it was like, I've never experienced this in my life. Where all of a sudden it's like, you have to go, and it's not, I can't even explain how much, like, I've never shut myself up until this past year, and it's horrifying. But then the other one where I was going to say where I actually did drop trow, I was with some friends and we were outside social distancing, and we were just talking, and I was like, oh my God, this is going to happen right now. And we were like in a public park, and I was like, well, I don't want to shit my pants, but I was able to like, excuse me, and run behind a tree and just completely destroy that motherfucker. And then afterwards, I like texted them. I was like, hey guys, I'm not going to make it back. I think I'm done for the day. Just
Wow.
Yeah, let me tell you, IBS is not fun, and I'm doing everything I can to try and fix it. But it's pretty much just trying not to be stressed and eat healthy. So I have control over the healthy, but the stress, I think, is I try and be Zen, but I'm not a Zen person, so it doesn't work out very well.
I was going to say, would you, if you had to, I know it's right outside your house, but when that sewage hole was open, would you poo there if you had no other place?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I think for the novelty of it, of course.
Yeah, for the story. Who wouldn't?
Why not just, I think my biggest concern with that is the splashback, because it really was like, it's like a well, like an echo.
Oh,
you know
God.
I mean? It was like, so I wouldn't want that splashback, because that certainly would give you death.
Yeah.
Like whatever. It would be a slow, painful, like bacteria, fleshy.
You'd be in the hospital quick, like later after that.
Ugh. You'd be done. It'd be like leprosy adjacent. Like it would just.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Just set up a porta potty right on top of the hole, the pit.
She's been working on her house, and again with the COVID stuff, they put a porta potty outside, so the people that were working on the outside of the house didn't have to go into the house, because her mother lives with her and she's in her 90s and stuff. And it was funny. I was like, wow, I can poop inside. I got the poop in front of my yard. I got a porta potty across the street.
You're covered. Yeah, so you're probably so happy that 2021 is here, because that sounds like between the shit pit and then shitting your pants 2 times, like one outside, one on the inside. It just, God.
I'm in both situations. And I definitely prefer the outside.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. I've done them all. I've done in my pants. I did it behind a tree. And then recently in the pandemic, I did in my kitchen garbage can.
Why?
Because my bathroom...
That was the best one.
I only have one bathroom in my apartment, and my partner was in there, and he wasn't getting out, and it was coming out of me. And I had a choice of going in my pants or going in the garbage can. I chose garbage can.
I know, you make the choices, the split second decision.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, that's not really a choice. It's just, it's you know you're going. It's just a matter of steering direction.
Yeah.
Well, I made the choice not to go in my pants.
All right, well, that's good. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
I think, personally.
Yeah, I mean, let's,
And the only reason I was inspired to go in the garbage can is thanks to all the fabulous guests we've had on the show that gave me those ideas, because we've had people on who's made that choice.
so, yeah. Options. It's all about life's about options and choices.
And you're a poop expert.
Yeah. Yeah, we are
Well, at least where to go.
even are super close to our 10,000 hours.
Yeah, I mean, at least in where to go. You know, it's like if you're in a bind, you can use a plastic bag, you can use a garbage can. There's all kinds of like innovative ways to take a shit
Yeah.
if you're in a pinch. Ugh.
Trixie, I'm assuming I know the answer to this question because there are so many festivals in New Orleans, but what is the worst public bathroom you've seen?
There's so many. Sophie's choice of horrible answers. I don't know. I honestly think the worst. You would think it would be a porta potty, but no, it's not a porta potty. Yeah, I think the worst bathroom. I don't even remember the name of the bar, but it was just like there was puke on the toilet, on the floor. Washing. It was just extremely pungent, and the faucet wasn't working. And so I feel, yeah, I know I've been in that situation. I cannot remember the name of the bar, but yeah, I think people drink too much. And then, well, I mean, feel free to drink too much if you are I shouldn't even say that. Like, just drink till you have a good time, but don't drink to the point of you should not be puking.
Oh, yeah. On toilet seats.
For the place. That's too much. That's no good. So yeah, it was wretched. But yeah, you would think it would be at a festival, at a music festival, but I think because everything is outside, it's sort of like that's standard. It's a porta potty. It's just like a big vat of poop, so you're going to deal with it. But that's it. Like it's just plastic. There's only so much they can do to destroy that.
Yeah.
When you get into porcelain, that's when the stakes go up.
If I saw puke on a toilet seat, I think I'm just gonna have to hold this in because I just, you know what I mean? Like oh God, that's just the smell is making me sick right now.
It was mostly a smell thing, but the visual wasn't too good either. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go. We're just gonna leave.
You're like, guess what? I don't have to go to the bathroom anymore. It's kind of a miracle.
Yeah. It is a miracle.
Yeah, drinking is great and everything, but people, come on, moderation. But I'm in my 40s. I now say this. I did a lot of stupid shit in my 20s where I peed my pants wasted. I did some throwing up. Yeah.
On toilets?
I think we all did, but they should be learning experiences, not habits.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It shouldn't be like, oh, it's Tuesday. It's time for me to puke on a toilet seat again. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
we all.
Fat Tuesday.
I should hope that we all experience life to the fullest, but they should be enjoyable experiences for the most part. And if they're not, just check that box. We did it. Done.
Yeah. Bucket list. Oh, my God.
And do you have any other poop or fart related things in your job besides your fantastic act?
Thank you. Yes, I was so excited to do that act because I actually created it years earlier, and it didn't come out the way I wanted. There's a crew in New Orleans called the Crew of Poo. It's basically just a social group. They have their own parade as well, and the way they do their king and queen is they have to have a knife fight at the end of each, calendar year to see who gets to be the next king or queen. And so it's like a king or queen is nominated to knife fight the other one, and it's a pretend knife fight. It's not a real knife fight. We're not crazy people. And normally, the past kings or queens are like, and let the other people win. But I have a friend who didn't. Anyways, long story long. Yeah, I just have utilized farting in my burlesque career, which has been great. And I think beyond that, I haven't really utilized it to its full potential, so I'm excited to see what the future holds.
Nice.
So you have more than one act with the farts in it?
I only have one, I think that's the thing is I have one, like you saw it, it's a beautiful, glamorous, the music is just right, there's smoke machine, it's set, there's props, it's cute, but there's another fart act. I actually want to do that. I'm having trouble because I like lots of props and I like big stages, and so it's hard to be able, like, I can't do that act on just a regular stage. I need it to be able to at least have a smoke machine, at least high ceilings, so you can see the spray of the aerosol, like all this stuff. But I want to do another fart act where my costume is blown off.
That'd be amazing.
And I started working with a costumer about rigging it. It's hard because, again, like you need space and strings and magic, and one of these days.
Oh, I can't wait to see that when that happens.
Yeah. Also, the crew, the Poo crew, or whoever, we need to talk to them, Dave.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I should put you in touch. They are, they're good people. Some of them do drink to excess.
Hey, as long as they have good stories about them shitting themselves, they're booked on this show.
I'll put you in touch. They're good people.
Awesome. Yeah, let's do it. The Poo crew.
Yeah, I sort of want to. I wish I had a better fart or poop, and as far as career stuff goes, I don't. But I feel like I'm missing a market. That's
good. You
tap into this niche market I'm completely ignoring.
Well, you got time to think about it.
Yeah.
Develop some new acts.
I think you have it with your shitterton. I think you just need to keep going with it.
Yeah. Just
lean in.
Yeah.
Keep developing it.
It's there. You just have to meditate on the bowl till it comes to you.
Yeah.
Follow my heart, follow the fart.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Do you have anything else to share with us, Trixie? I mean, you pooped in your pants, you pooped on the ground, you farted your way through all of our hearts.
Thank you. That really makes me feel special. I feel like the only thing I want to share with people is to be kind. I don't think that's necessarily poop related, but if I have anything to say that I hope people take, you don't have to like me, you don't even have to, listen, watch, whatever, but I just encourage everybody to be kind, because we have been through it. The world is, I truly believe, a beautiful place, but it's full of assholes, and some of them are mean, and other ones. And all I want to say is just wipe your butt, be a good person, be kind, be nice, have a good day. That's all. Just have people be kind.
I completely agree, Trixie. Mind you, Trixie looks like Cinderella right now, and she has birds chirping in the background. How can you not love?
Yeah, it's like a Disney movie or something.
I started a garden, and I think they're eating my food. We had a garden to survive. I would be dead. Last year I was able to grow jalapenos only. Jalapenos and what was the other one? It was jalapenos and green peppers. So those were the only things that existed. I currently have 4 strawberry plants and have grown 2 strawberries. So that is not enough to survive on. And I had a bunch of tomatoes that were destroyed by caterpillars. So I have no tomatoes in my life either.
Yeah, the only things I can grow is herbs and peppers. Those are the only things that the animals don't want to eat.
Peppers.
Well, I'd like to get into a new segment.
Yeah.
It's kind of reference back what you said about Sophie's Choice. It's called Shitty Choices.
Shitty Choices.
Okay.
And you get 2 choices, and you got to pick one. And this is going to be an interactive game that we want to do with listeners, where we're going to do a poll on Twitter, possibly on Instagram. But we're,
and Patreon.
We're working out the kinks, but I think this will be a fun one. So for the launch, there's no theme song or anything like that for this, so I'll work on that later. But the question to you, Trixie Minx, is you got 2 choices here. This person, so let's just say that whatever your dream person is in the world, you can spend the rest of your life with, whatever you think, paradise with this person would look like. But this person either A, has total shit breath. I mean, just completely smells like shit out of their mouth all the time. And this is the sweetest, best person, all the qualities you want in a partner.
I feel like I know this person.
Yeah. I think a lot of, yeah. Or same exact scenario, same person, but this person farts, I don't know, let's just say 100 times a day.
Okay.
Constantly. And they kind of stink. So you're either
That's an easy choice, honestly.
okay.
I say fart all the way because farts are funny, so at least I'll be laughing.
I mean, of the 100 farts a day, you're after the first year, you might be like this motherfucker.
See, but I don't. I feel like that if you have shit breath, literally, you can't kiss. Which I'm assuming you want to kiss this person. But more importantly, talking. If they're talking, you're gonna be like, ooh,
Yeah.
like you can't. Like so, like the cerebral and the like physical would just suck. Whereas if they're farting, I think you can laugh and it's aimed the other direction. So you can just create like a funnel for their butt or something. You know what I mean? Like I'm thinking like those megaphones that they use at, high school team sports.
Yeah, those old school megaphones.
Like a megaphone on their butt or some sort of, I feel,
look, there's no wrong answer here. I would probably go with farts too, but I'm just imagining you're like out on vacation or at the airport or eating dinner, and it's just constant. Like
fart on in an airport though. Like let's be honest, those motherfuckers.
True, but I mean,
or at least it used to be. And those people, they're like, this is the best place to freaking rip.
I mean, 100 times a day.
There's just gas chambers in the sky.
You're at like a funeral or something. It's just letting it off, like loud.
It would be cute. I think it would be one of those like. It would. I think farts are exceptionally funny. So I think it would be, to me, I would find it endearing.
I'm wondering if.
Agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if I would lose patience of said 100 farts a day by like year 10. You're just like, Jesus Christ, here we go again with this.
But I feel like you can cure a farting problem, but you cannot cure halitosis.
Which is so funny because it shouldn't. I think like medically it's the other way around. But yeah, because I think the thing with I've had a couple dance partners that just, there's this one guy I used to dance with who's so nice and so sweet, and he was vegan, and I don't think that necessarily being vegan means you have halitosis, but whatever he was doing or whatever products he was using with regards to like toothbrush and soap, and it was just, he always had this like smell of sour milk.
Oh,
gross.
I mean,
It's like it was out of his pores, it was out of his mouth, like it was just, and it wasn't like, I mean, it was natural, it wasn't BO, like it wasn't like stinky, it was just like I couldn't, I would get
well, I mean, look, I'm with you. I mean, you definitely want to kiss, so that'd be a hard one. If it's just you going in like every time, whoa. So,
or at the same time, you could do like how they do in Saw and just zip their lips. And then just, actually that's a game changer, because then you guys could do like ASL to communicate and, options. Who knew? I felt very confident at the start of this question, and now I'm starting to sway. I'm swaying.
Yeah, I mean, the fart thing wouldn't bother me at first, but I think over time I'd be like, I can't do this anymore. The fart is ripping us apart.
Yeah, I feel like if they're your perfect person, they'd be like, I understand you. It's okay. They'd always be perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like my partner in the beginning of our relationship, we'd been together 10 years, I was insanely gassy and he stayed with me. So I still vote for farts over shit breath. Like,
yeah. Were you farting 100 times a day?
Yes.
100 times a day?
Yes. I wish you knew me back then.
I just can't. I mean, maybe
insane.
So maybe the 100 is a low number. Maybe I should go for 500 times a day. To me, 100 seems like a lot.
An hour.
Well, actually, don't cows fart that much anyways? That's just natural for them because they got the 4 stomachs and all that.
Yeah, and they burp. Their methane comes out both ends.
Okay, look, I got to retool some of these questions. I thought 100 was a lot. I mean, yeah, maybe I should have said 100.
Gerald, how he got through those first few years with me.
Maybe I should do 100 per hour. Either way.
Got to the point where I would light a match every time I farted, and like we'd be sitting on the couch, and thered be a pile of dead matches.
Jesus.
I'll let somebody think you're like into arson or something.
Yeah.
She's just fire
Starter over here. Oh my God.
That was fucking foul. It was just a mess. It was the cesspit in your front yard, but it was my asshole.
Wow.
Do you think it's actually like a demon that's just jumping around town?
No, I just thought that this was my problem since I was a child. I was just a very farty person. And then I got diagnosed with Lyme disease now almost 3 years ago. And I took all these antibiotics and it literally killed everything in my gut and I stopped farting for a whole year.
Oh.
And now I fart like a normal person.
So what's a normal person fart schedule?
It's like instead of 100 times a day, I'm doing it like 10 times a day. And they're not as like paint peelingly disgusting.
Interesting. I feel like this is a whole separate subject that we have to cover.
You ended up at camp.
I really felt like I'm like 100's a lot. That's no, it's not. Apparently.
Oh, Dave, if we only had a time machine.
Yeah.
If the average is 10.
Yeah, I mean, I should have said 500, but regardless, you get the gist of the choice. So we're saying Trixie's farts all day. Ellen, we know your farts all day. So, okay, so shit breath loses out, which, again, it's kind of a softball one. I mean, imagine most people would probably pick the fart. I mean, just I would, because, the breath thing's a little bit much. You like doing you're doing your wedding vows. Oh my God, what have I done?
That's why I feel like that's sort of why it's like everybody pulls towards the butt. Again, it's just like directional too. It's just it's opposite from your face, unless your face is down there, which you can move your face at that point.
I don't think I've even farted today yet.
And we have those fart pills that make your farts smell like roses.
Yeah, so there are solutions.
I farted 3 times during this interview. The only reason I haven't talked about it is because I don't want to interrupt our fabulous guest.
Well, we know now.
But
3 times.
I'm literally sitting here ripping ass while we're interviewing.
I'm kicking myself for saying 100. I just thought that was a really high number.
You know what?
You should have asked an expert.
Yeah, I should have.
I'll say 1,000.
Yeah, 1,000.
I say 100 an hour. 100 farts an hour.
That sounds better.
Yeah, that does sound bad.
It sounds like, imagine you're just going to sleep and you had like a really rough day, and then all of a sudden it's just like.
I got a fart right now.
That's my life.
Did you hear that?
I did hear it.
That was me.
Oh my God.
I think that's the first time I farted on the show.
I think so.
Oh, I love it. I can't believe you've done over 100 shows and you haven't farted on it once.
That might be the first one.
Yeah. I'm very impressed that I've kept it in. But I had 2 very spicy tacos before this, and
yeah,
that's what happens.
It's coming back.
Yep.
Oh my God. Well, I just wanted to kick that little maiden voyage of a segment off. And I can't wait to share other shitty choices for you out there. Because there's lots of them.
We will put it on socials before this episode comes out.
Yeah.
And then we'll do our opening. We'll talk about maybe next week's episode. We'll talk about what did the socials say.
Yeah. I'm guessing I'm going to assume everybody's going to go with farts, but who knows? I mean, there's some people that like stinky breath. There's plenty of people out there that are into that kind of stuff. So
you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, like ass eaters. They're like, your breath smells like that thing.
They're like, yeah. So yeah, see, I may be missing a whole community that I have no clue about. So who knows? But yes. Okay, so I'm going to play this really quick, and then I'll get into the story. So it's a news story. I mean, it's more like a tech story, but product sort of like shout out. So my friend Jamie, who I've known since I was 15, so I've known him for, 33 years. That's insane. So he texted me yesterday about this this app for your iPhone called Poop Map, Pin and Track. So this is the place where you can download this thing from the iTunes Apple Store or whatever. And you can mark places that you've pooped.
Yes.
So you just basically, if you're vacationing somewhere, you put those little pin in the maps. This is more for your shit. So,
Dave, I think we should both download this and post-pandemic, since we don't leave the house anymore. And then this will be something we can upload to Patreon, where people will show people where we've pooped.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty interesting. They have, of course, the screenshot is just a map of the U.S. and it's cut off, but it's got little dots everywhere. Where I'm don't think you shit all those places.
My grandma used to have this map of the world, and they would put a pin, like a little red dot, wherever it's been.
That's exactly what this is.
To do that,
except for shitting.
This will be so much easier if it's in an app, and you can just mark it with pooping. Because while you're sitting there, you'd be like, "Oh yeah,
yeah."
Ooh, if you're on a cruise, like where it marks you.
Yeah. International waters.
Like
international shits.
This one, it's so funny. The average rating is 4.7 out of 5. And one of the comments is, needs more features. You see, my homies and I have recently been logging our poops using this app. Okay, that person, Cookie Man for Life, #1. I'm assuming probably wrote this app. Like probably developed this app. But whatever. It's just really funny. And Jamie, thanks again for doing this if you're listening. For sending that to me, because that's hilarious. And it's number 52 in entertainment on the iTunes store. That's pretty good. Why didn't we think of this? It's so simple. Oh, we got to get.
We're only into talking about shit. We're not into developing apps.
Yeah, we got to get into app development.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have a poop story I would like to share.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So I have a friend that shall remain nameless to protect the truly not innocent person who this story is about, but he is a shit eater, and he loves his scat play and the whole pig pen. Like, he is just embracing it, and I love this story so much. And he's a very clean person, so when he plays, he gets his room all like American Psycho Dexter style, and has his friend come over, and they do what they do, and everything's organized, and they shower after, yada yada. Well, this one particular time, they had done what they did, and they were in the shower, and here's ba 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 at his door. He's like, I don't know what's going on. I think I should answer this, because it wasn't letting up. Gets there, it's the police officer, and they're like, "Sir, he lives in an apartment building. Sir, you have to stay inside. Sir, there is an emergency happening. We're not sure what's going on, but just stay inside. Do not come out here." And they have one of those battering rams. And he's, "Oh my God, what is happening? We will let you know in a little bit. We just need everybody in the building to just stay inside." Meanwhile, he goes back, hangs out with his friend. They're having a cup of coffee, chilling, whatever. Another hour goes by. It sounds, World War III outside his door. And he's like, his friend's like, "I have to go. This was not supposed to be, more than just, a scheduled."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, well, let me see if I can get through." Well, he opens the door. It's now the fire department and the police department has completely knocked down another door, sort of wall. Like, the door is no longer on its hinges. It's like the frame of the door is gone.
Oh my God.
Destroying this apartment. And he talks to the cop and he's like, "Excuse me, my friend really needs to go. Can he go?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, it's fine." So the friend leaves, and he's, "Listen, I'm sorry to ask you this, but there's a little lady that lives there. I'm really concerned. What's going on? Is everything okay?" And they're like, "Well, we just got all these calls about a rancid smell, and so we feel that somebody either died or was cooking meth and it was going to explode." And at that point, he just went. I don't know if the video is showing or whatever, but
No.
That's for the people that are listening. His face just went flat, and he was like, "Yes, sir, that sounds absolutely horrible." And so then you have to understand, normally when he was done, I'm telling you, he's a very clean person. He took all his, Dexter-style stuff, wrapped it up, double bagged, and would throw it out in the trash. He couldn't do that.
Oh my God.
He would have known.
He was the rancid smell.
And for this poor woman, she was
Oh my!
old, and she had gone out of the house, and she comes back in, and she's yelling, she's, "Dad, what told you I'm dead?" Like, she was furious.
Oh my God,
That's
poor woman.
amazing.
The story gets better. So anyways, the cops leave. They're like, "Well, we don't know where the smell is coming from. Maybe a rat died in the wall or something." Like, they could not figure it out. At this point, he had quadruple bagged everything. He was then taking it out in secret suitcases, throwing it away. And since he no longer hosts these events. So anyways, he felt so bad about this little old lady. He told her, he was like, "You know what, Miss So-and-so, I'd love to help you clean up." And she's, "Thank you." She's a little old lady. And he says, "Well, thank you." She's like, "Can't believe they broke my door. Can't believe they messed up my furniture. Can't believe they did that. I can't believe they think I'd cook meth." And she's like, you're such a nice young man for helping me. And then proceeds to tell him where she hides everything in the house. I mean, like her will, her money. Because he's so nice, quote unquote nice. Meanwhile, he is just like, I'm going to hell, I'm going to hell, I'm going to hell. And that's my poop story.
Wow, that's
amazing.
dude, fucking awesome. Amazing.
But no, I would love to get you to interview him as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to hear that story.
Completely anonymous. We've been dying to get a shit eater on here.
Really? Ooh.
Yeah.
So he would be.
I love this story. I love telling this story to people. There are so many. He has so many other just like great shit stories. There's the time he ordered it from a sex worker in Canada and was severely disappointed by what came.
Oh my God.
That long review. Well, I was expecting poop, and what you gave me is the shit stain. That's not what I was looking for. It's just brilliant. Like the stories, they never cease.
So he'd be into the shit mouth thing, the shitty smell mouth.
Oh
For
my
sure.
God, he'd be into all of it. He'd be like, why do I have to choose?
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, this is great. I'll take both, please. Holy
So
shit.
good.
I can't believe you guys have not had a
We've come very close, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of them want to be anonymous. So
We've had people that have shit in people's mouths,
yeah,
but
we
never,
had a dominatrix that has done that.
but never an actual person that's
I don't know how you didn't. I always thought about that with dominatrixes that do that. Like, how can you coordinate? I mean, it's for me, it's
Listen to our episode number 10.
Yes, Trixie Minx, thank you so much for being on our show. You were delightful, amazing, and just anything you want to talk about, or as far as letting people know about you, or social medias, where can they find you?
Yes, please. Well, you can go to my website, trixieminx.com. That's TRIXIEMINX.com for a bunch of stuff, not just about me, but about my company and what I do and all the people that I work with in New Orleans. But if you like just straight up comedy content, please follow me on TikTok or NOLA, or my YouTube, which is Trixie Minx. I think it's youtube.com/TrixieMinxTV.
And one more time, what was that Instagram handle again?
Trixie NOLA, TRIXIE NOLA.
Okay, great.
And then I don't know what my TikTok is, but if you look Trixie Minx, it's probably going to be me.
And happy pooping, everybody, and enjoy your butthole.
Hey Poopy Podcast is brought to you by Perfect 4 Entertainment, produced by Dave and Ellen, with executive producer Stormy Leather, edited by me, Dave.
For more information, go to heypoopypodcast.com for episodes, merch, and more. Follow us on Instagram at heypoopypodcast and Twitter at heypoopy. Theme song by Jordan Pearlson. Hey Poopy.